Welcome back to Ringworm. There's a reason, a really good reason, you make the choice to live alone in the woods like this with nobody around. Well, two reasons. One is because it's so much fun to be alone, and two is you can have days like today. You can think, there's this thing I've always wanted to do. You don't have to ask permission. You don't have to worry about anybody else. Most of my life when I go shooting, it was a freaking big production. You had to go dig all of this out, you had to dig that out, you had to find some ammo, you had to not forget the other thing. What I like about living out here, you guys know, I've built several shooting ranges out here. It's mostly all for 22s, but I like just being able to grab a 22 and walk out and plink. Here's a target right here, because sometimes when you're cooking lunch, you want to take a couple shots. I do like going to the shooting ranges. Sounds like it's a long ways, but I honestly, these days, with my back issues and a dog usually around here, most of the shooting I do is standing right here. There's a swinging target there. There were a couple big targets out there until those trees fell down. The ones I shoot mostly at are down in there. There are 3 steel targets on a tree. There's one over there. I've tried to make it as little of a production as possible, and I love it. It's so fun to be able to do this. This guy is sitting out here still from party week. I keep saying party week, party 4 days. Here's the other one, a big one, 16-incher. There's one thing I would like to do, probably with both of these, but mostly with the giant one. I want to know how far you can shoot a 22 pistol and make contact with a piece of steel like this. I have no idea. Back on the walking shooting range, I think there's a 12-inch target that was set up to be shot from like 450, maybe 50 yards, and another spot that's like 35 yards on the same target. But you can see it way through the forest at maybe, I don't know, 100. And I probably hit 4 out of 10 shots on average. Anyway, I want to stick this giant target somewhere out here. When Tito was here last couple weeks ago, he kind of helped me walk back into the woods and figure out where it could be. There are definitely better places to set it up, different spots on the property, but I'd like to be able to shoot it from somewhere around here. And I don't want to be unsafe with this. Any bullet I shoot, I want to make sure it lands on my own property. Preferably, I like to have a backstop, of course, like the shooting range. So we can't launch it back towards any possible hunters way back there. Who knows? I mean, how far does it go? I think on the box, it usually says a mile or a mile and a half. I mean, that would be probably, if you shot it at a 45, it could go that far. So I think our choices are back there past those targets. We could cut a quarter. I'm thinking, did I say, I think it's a corridor. It could be a quarter. But we just cut a hallway, maybe, I don't know, as wide as my shoulders or something, you know, like 4 or 5 feet. Just trim it out, going straight back. Put the big target back there, see if we can hit it. If we can, we'll just keep moving it further back. The other possibility is somewhere back through here. Well, that is weird. I don't think I've ever heard like a passenger jet going over here. It's a regular metropolis. Oh, you know what? Before we can have our fun today, I gotta do my exercises. This has worked out great. If you saw, I think it was the last video, built myself a little cable setup here. I was able to find some snatch blocks. I can't remember how much they were, maybe 10 bucks a piece or something. I greased them up. They work fantastically. They roll nicely on here. But I will do my exercises before we start cutting. Oh, one other thing. You know me, I find this really exciting. Look what I found. While I was in the man cave vacuuming flies, look what I found. A very, very nicely preserved bumblebee. I've collected a couple of these in the last few years. But in order to preserve them, I had to put them in alcohol. When you do that, when you take them out, all their fur is kind of matted together. Here, I'll see if I can take a photo of this thing for you. We're gonna have to put this guy under the microscope. Anyway, I mean, it makes me excited. You know, one other thing I saw years ago, it looked fun, but it's not something you'd really think, oh, I should try to learn that myself. You ever see people that are actually good at shooting something from the hip without aiming? I think we should try that today too. I think I have another 16-inch steel plate down at the shooting range that's not getting used. Maybe we throw that on one of these stumps, and then way back there we make our long distance shot. God, this is gonna be fun. All right, we just gotta get buff real quick. You don't have to watch all of this. I know, you've got better things to do. There's two things I'm trying to do multiple times a day for my lower back. If you got lower back pain or issues, you may wanna try this. Gotta loosen up the front of the hips so they're not pulling you at an angle like that, and then strengthen your abs does the same thing. One of the best stretches I've found. You can do this on a bed. Man, you couldn't have done this in the old days with non-stretchy Levi's. Leg like this, and rock the hips forward and upper body up. Oh, it feels so good. Just a stretch right there. You could definitely overdo it. I've overdone it, but it seems like the longer you hold it, the more you get out of it. I'll tell you what though, do this a couple times a day for a couple weeks. It completely changes your posture. It's wild. Oh yeah, that might have overdone it a little bit. Feels good. This is not what you were thinking when you clicked on this video, was it? You start out like this, and you end up being able to straighten out your spine. It's lovely. Just put some extra weights on there. Oh, so good. Oh, you gotta love when they cramp up a little bit. We're gonna get started on our fun stuff, but anytime I walk by here, I'm gonna do a set. Okay, here's the $25 question. If you want to cut a path straight back into the woods, and there's only one of you, how do you do it? I only ask because I know the answer, but I came upon it on accident when Tito was here. If I just walk that way and start cutting, I might, between those two trees, I might run into another big tree centered in there that I can't see until I trim all that crap out. So maybe instead of there, I need to go right there. You can't really pull a string through there because it'll get caught on everything. Anyway, let's not waste time. I'm going to tell you the answer. You walk way over there and you put something bright and shiny back here so you can see it all the way through the woods. And you cut your way back to it. Not sure if that's the only answer, but that's what I'm going to do. And the reason I'm going to do it is because when Tito and I were back there in the woods trying to figure this out, I kept seeing something bright red through the woods and I couldn't figure out what it was. It was the snow shovel. So here's what I think we should do. Easy, easy on the back. Pay attention to the back. Perfect. Somewhere back in there, that's where we're going to walk. I prefer to do this with a machete, but I think the safest thing is probably just some loppers. You know what, just out of curiosity, this one that I shoot at the most from right here, let's see how many times I can hit it, and then let's walk it off and just see how far away it is. Miss. What was that, 4 out of 6 or 5 out of, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 39, 40, 41, 8, 49. So 50 and some change. And I think that's a 6-inch plate. If the bullet flew completely flat, which it definitely doesn't, you put a 12-inch plate at 100 yards. You put a 18-inch plate at 150. I don't think that's going to be too hard to hit. Well, I guess it depends how far back there we can go. And I want you to know, I'm not walking this way just to avoid the workout machine, but I definitely could have walked that way and done a set. Another thing I'd like to try when we get this set up, I'd like to see if it's more accurate to shoot with this handgun or the Ruger Mark II that I just got all redone. My feeling is that the Mark II would be a lot more accurate. It's got a bull barrel on it, like a target barrel. It's a lot heavier, but I don't know. I haven't tried it. Oh yeah, and the trigger is way better on that thing. Yep, I know. I'll do it. Gosh. The downside is I have to take my belt off every time. Oh, also, in case you were wondering, I'm using this silencer all the time. This is I think it's a Silencer Co Sparrow. You guys have seen me shoot with this Taurus TX22 competition a whole bunch, and then all of a sudden this showed up, and I got it just because I didn't want the loud noises around my dog all the time. But I've gotten so used to shooting with that on, I like it. I like not having to worry about my hearing, not constantly putting earplugs or muffs on. You know, you put something in your ears and then you're screaming at the camera. But I don't think I'm ever going to take that off. I kind of want one for the other 22. You just don't want to have to change it out all the time. Never shot a silencer in my life. I think a year ago I didn't even know you could just buy them. I mean, it's not quite that easy. It's a lot of paperwork and it takes a long time to get it. But if you like shooting and you like shooting 22s, it makes it so much more enjoyable. Now if they could just do something with handguns where you didn't have to wear eye protection, what if you didn't have to wear clothes? I know, I'm losing my mind out here. Oh, that's a little bit too heavy. I think we need a different bar. I was looking for something in kind of a cedar handle, you know? You can see a hung up tree way back in there. Let's go for that and see what it looks like back there, if there's any place to hang a target. Wow, I can see back through there now, another 200 yards probably. Yeah, well, the one thing I don't want to have to do is get a chainsaw out, because I do not want to get hurt. So we're not going to be cutting out these down trees. Well, those came down recently. The shooting range is right over this hill here. I can see the other 16-inch target hanging on the tree way out there. So here is a great backstop. This hillside right here. Right back over this hill is part of the walking 22 range. Question is, can we still find the red shovel? I can see the cabin, I can see the tent, and then just some sort of random shapes and colors way back there. Had to go back. I realized I could see the blue water jug, but I couldn't figure out where the shovel was. Turns out the shovel was like right behind the blue water jug. So I went back and put it in the sun, and now I can see it. Also had to get my headphones. One, because you're not used to seeing me without headphones in, but two, I have a doctor's appointment. Specifically, I have to be right here for my appointment in about 20 minutes. I'll talk to yet another doctor about my back. And I've been getting so little exercise in the last lot of months that I basically have no interest in eating. So I'm back to making myself these high calorie protein shakes. I'm gonna guzzle at least a couple of these a day. That one could have used a little more water. Wow, that's thick. Yep, my GoPro's about out of batteries, but I think if we tromp through the woods right here, we ought to be able to find that really long shot. Oh, I think it's right on the other side of this ditch here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. The paint's not very fresh and it's not in the sun, but it's right down there. All right, let's see if we can hit it. Yeah, it's perfectly in the shadow right now. Oh, I saw that dust. Man, it's dry out here. You know, it wasn't that long ago when I'd never used a dot sight either. This is a green dot. It's one of the hollow sun sights with the little solar panels on top. I love shooting with dots now. And this one's got a sensor in it, so if you look through it right now, the dot's really bright. If you cover this, or if you're in the dark, very low light, the dot dims down. And right now, that target is so small, it's so small out there, that this bright dot covers the entire thing up. I can't see it, so let's try this one more time and turn this dot way down. Here, maybe you can see it in here. There's the dot when it's really bright. Let's see if we can turn it down. There, that's more like it for distance shooting. You always got to find some kind of excuse for why you miss so much. There are worse places to have doctor's appointments. I don't know if you've noticed that. How are you? All right. I mean, I'm out in the woods, so that's it's a good day. I'm sitting here talking to the doctor, and all of a sudden, I could see perfectly through there. I think that's it. Right through there. I think that's what we're looking for. We might have to cut this tree out of here, though. And ever since I made that last video, and I was talking about the mountain lion sighting right here, and then digging out that clip of the bobcat that walked right by the cabin there for the video, my head is kind of on a swivel out here. I'm always looking behind me, turning off my noise canceling. I guess if they didn't eat me by now, they're probably not going to. Chainsaws are more fun. I think I can cut through this with a dull sawzall. Careful of the back. More planes. What is going on? Kind of in the middle right now, and it's maybe 150 yards. I don't know. Fun thing is it's sneaking in between about 4 or 5 trees back and forth, just right in between them. Definitely couldn't shoot any bullet bigger than a 22. It's got to be, you know, about like that to squeak through. That's a complete lie. All right, I think that's going to be too easy. I'm going to go grab that 6-inch plate and hang it down there too. Yeah, it looks way too easy. Gotta do it, gotta do it. Let's go big, shall we? Just works too well for what it is. Let's see if we could hang it right there. Another good thing about shooting 22s is that the targets don't have to be very thick. You don't have to have a 1/2-inch AR 500 steel or anything. That looks like about 1/4 inch. I think it's 1/4 inch mild steel even. I do wish I had some way to measure this. All right, let's just walk it back and see if we can twank it. I don't know if you can see way back there, but it looks like we're, with where the target is, we're more lined up with the blue water jug. If we went over this way a little bit, there's the shovel, which all the way back here is a matter of about maybe 2 feet. Oh yeah, let's hang up this little one too. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see it or not. Probably not going to happen. I think we'll have to shoot through the tent. I just roughly counted it coming back here. It's about exactly the distance of the rifle range down there. I got about 125. I think that's what it is, 120. Maybe it was 125. I can't remember. This is not going to be difficult. All right, I'm going to shoot 10. How many do you think I can hit? How many was that? Can't remember. Definitely have shaky arms. 2 more. I'm gonna hit them both. Ready? Ready? Too easy. I do like the ring of that big plate though. So if you just want something easy to do, you stand here, you make yourself a burrito or whatever it is the kids are eating now, and you hit 6 or 8 or maybe 10 out of 10. And then if you want a challenge, I can't see that small plate. Nope. Huh. Strange that I can't see it at all. Maybe my eyes just aren't good enough and it's dark back there. Here, do you want to see what I'm looking at? Get the old phone out for you, since it's actually got a zoom. Here, you can look at yourself. Maybe you'll go back in time. See, there you are right there. There it is. That's as far as she'll zoom right there. But I do not see the little one. All right, well, let's just see if we can go backwards a little bit. have to move our snow blower out of the way. You know what? I'm pretty damn sure that's not a snow blower. Easy on the back. I don't know if you can see, it's right through there. That's got to be another at least 20 yards. Let's try that out. There it is. That was about a foot and a half high, maybe 2 feet. I kind of want to do that again. Yeah, 2 feet high. Can you hear that? Can you hear that I'm hitting it? Now it's getting hard to see, but it's just from distance. Can we find it? I think this is going to be about the end. No, we could cut a couple of tiny saplings and keep going. Yeah, you can't get down too far either. You'll shoot the water jug. Let's just keep walking as far as we can here. All right, use your ear holes. How high do we go? About 4 feet? Wow, that got way harder. I am not what I would call a real shooter. I just think this is fun. I don't really know anything about guns. Definitely nothing about longer distance shooting. But if you look at the back of a box of ammo, sometimes it'll tell you at a given yardage how much the bullet's dropping. It's always interesting to me that it'll be like, you know, maybe you zero your gun at 25, I don't know what would be normal for a 22 caliber pistol. Maybe you zero it at 25 yards. So at 50 yards, I'm totally making these numbers up. 50 yards, you might have a 1-inch drop. 100 yards, you might have an 8-inch drop. 150 yards, you might have a 30-inch drop. Especially with a wimpy bullet like this. It goes pretty straight and then it loses power and really drops off. But this distance is kind of what I was looking for. I wanted to find a spot where it was really starting to dive, so it was hard to make the shot, but it was still a reasonable distance where, you know, you could. This might be the spot right here. So that's about 165 right there. Okay, how many we got? Oh, we got lots. Let's see if we can hit 1 out of 5. Wow, that is getting really close to shooting my stuff. You hear that? Second shot. But was it a fluke? Nope, that was bad. That's probably aiming about 5 feet high, but totally doable. Did we keep going back? I don't know. Pretty close to hitting 50-50. Okay, I found the limit of how far you can see it. It's at this rotten log and you have to stand on it. You can balance right there if you're up high enough. Okay, we want to make it as hard as possible. This has got to be it. Ooh. Too high. I started saying too high and it hit it. No way. I thought for sure that wasn't going to hit it either. I thought I hit the tree next to it. 3 in a row from 175 yards, standing on a rotten log. Come on. Now I'm probably 8 feet high maybe. Well, what else are you gonna do? I went down and hung the other little one next to it, but I can't really see it. I think my eyesight's just not good enough. Maybe if I took the big one out of there. Yeah, can't see it. Let's see if we can hit that big one again. 1 for 3, not bad. All right, well, I think we've done what we can right now. That's pretty fun. Oh, we should definitely try the old handgun. Freshly cleaned, very nice. We're gonna try it from right at the blue water jug. What do we say this is, 120-ish, 125? I actually don't think this is sighted in quite as well. Yeah. A lot of light strikes too with this. I don't know what the deal is. Wow, that ammo sounds crazy. It's the thing, it just shoots better out of the other one. I don't know what the deal is. If it's the gun or gun and silencer combo or what. Gonna have to get this thing figured out though, because when it works, it's very nice to shoot. What the heck? Same ammo, not getting hit hard enough. Wow, I'm getting shaky. End of the day, no lunch, and this thing is really freaking heavy. Well, we got one more. Come on, we gotta hit all of these right here, right now. Yeah, I'm too shaky. It's great, you can shoot, put your arms down, and then hear if you hit it or not. I'm sure with the camera right there, you can really see how much I'm shaking too. Certainly when you look through there at the, ooh, that's getting toasty. Look through there at the green dot, you can see it. All right, you watch the end of the barrel and tell me how much I'm shaking. If I was shooting this much with a more expensive caliber, I wouldn't be ripping them off that fast. Probably shoot 1 or 2 rounds, 3 rounds maybe. Put your arms down, let them rest, do it again. I need to start thinking about liner and a shower. I think we should run down to the shooting range and get that other 16-inch target and at least hang it up. Pretty important that we have this target angled well down, especially because we're not going to shoot it from that much of a distance. There's a bunch of these stumps that I left out here and carved into weird shapes when I cut the trees down. I was actually thinking I could chainsaw into that. Oh, chainsaw. I'm not allowed to chainsaw. Maybe I could, maybe tomorrow. Probably tomorrow will be the time to do it. That's one option. There's another. Whoa. Look at that. They're like little tiny puffballs, which is strange because my puffball farm kind of blossomed, fruited a couple months ago. Yeah, look at that. Tons and tons and tons of them. I've never seen them that small before. Let's help them out, shall we? There you go. Funny, I didn't see those. I've been keeping an eye on the deer mushroom, which come up. They're just about done now. I love it when they come up because they have like kind of a gray brown, brownish color, but they look metallic. Let's see if I can find any of them. I think they're kind of done for. There's one that's kind of well used. It's an older one. We can sort of see the metallic sheen. Kind of faded with time though. If you want to see one other really weird looking mushroom, fungus, I guess. Let me get myself a poking stick. These have really dried out a lot too. This one I already poked up. Look how fine this stuff is that comes out of that. Isn't that crazy? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna knock off our shooting stuff right now. We're going to take a couple of those spores and put it under the microscope, and we're going to look at that bumblebee. Will that work for you? Oh, this is getting exciting. been a very long time since I had an excuse to get both microscopes out at the same time. Shall we start with the bumblebee in the pea container? Fills up the whole screen. When you look at it in here, it looks like you could just take out the vacuum and clean them off real quick. It's like a little flying grizzly bear. Check out that shawl he's got. That looks very cozy. And as with every insect, crazy eyes. Oh, I always find insect feet to be so fascinating. Ah, so weird. Looks like it wouldn't take much to just pinch right through your skin, huh? Yeah, look at the cool little tufts on his legs, too. Okay, we're about done with this. It's the second time that program crashed and all the pictures are gone. Let's let it restart and we'll check out those spores. Yeah, this is really a full service YouTube channel, isn't it? You get everything. I don't know if it was a good idea or a bad idea, but I put some water in here too, just because the cover slip kept sliding off of there. Alright, let's see what we can find here. Oh wow. I can already tell you these are way bigger than puffball spores. Remember the number I said before? There's something, it's billions anyway, in a single puffball. If not, it might have been a couple trillion spores. This is on the lowest magnification, and I can already see the spores. Just perfect little spheres. Spheres. I think with puffballs at this magnification, you still can't tell there's any individual anything. Well, let's try one more then, shall we? I don't know why it's so fuzzy. I wonder if that's because I put the water in there. It's probably about as good as we're gonna get. Unless we can go outside of the cover slip here and find something just stuck to the slide. Yep, much clearer. This microscope's kind of like a low to mid-range rifle scope, where it says it goes 4 to 16, but by the time you get up past about 12x, it's too blurry to really see anything. We've got one more step up here, but I think the glass is such low quality that we're not going to see anything. Yeah, we can make them out anyway. Alright, well, as usual, we didn't learn anything, but it's kind of fun. I need to take a little 8-hour nap or so. See you in the morning. We'll shoot from the hip. I purposely picked the smallest chainsaw. I only have to make, I think, 2 cuts straight down. I'm going to be incredibly careful. I'm not even going to have my book on. And this, if we make this slice right in the face of this, it's not in the plane of anything. It goes back behind the cabin that way and in front of the shower that way, so we should be plenty safe. That's pretty good and pretty easy. Perfect fit. Since we got the saw out here, I was going to chop this stump right off, but before we cut it right down to the ground, let's just take the top off and then put another slice in it. Gonna have to make sure it's oriented so we don't get any fragments in the shower. Now I wonder, would it make any sense at all to angle this thing way up? If we were shooting high calibers or there's anybody around here, I guess the spalling could rain down somewhere. You know what? We'll do one down, one up. That was probably not ideal since I almost took a wedge out, but yeah, there's still plenty of wood there. I kind of like that better. Wow, I really like these new cans. It's got like a swivel for different sprayers. which I don't really need, but you know, once you use the can a couple times and it gets clogged up, you can just switch to another one. That's great. You used to be able to, when you were done spraying, yeah, turn it upside down and blast all the paint out of there. You can't really do that anymore, which I guess is a good thing. Means the can will run on its side or upside down. I don't know how you clean them out these days before you put it away. Okay, what should we try first? I brought out my my single action 22 cowboy gun. I think that's what you'd ultimately want to be able to use. We've tried that before. You've seen that in previous videos like I don't know, a year or two ago. Tito's got the same one. I think we got them about the same time. We were trying to, you shouldn't do that with these, but we were trying to learn how to fan them. I feel the safest with this one. It's down quite low and got a lot of angle to it. Just in case you're curious. Alright, 15's around these little saplings. I don't really care if I can hit it a bunch or not. I just want to be safe. I don't really like safety, you know that about me, right? Not a big fan of safety, except when it comes to shooting. I think this country's obsession with safety takes the fun out of so much of life. I'm thinking this will be the easiest because I can actually see sort of where it's aimed. Let's just try one. Foot low. There it is. There it is. Right into the stump. Seems like I'm mostly erring on the low side. You know, I just realized the backdrop for this shot is a pretty nice cedar tree that's leaned at the shower that I've been thinking about taking down for a long time because I don't want my you know, pit scrubber house there to get crushed, and because I could use that cedar for something. If I put about 6,000 bullets in it, it's going to be kind of hard to get down. Let's take a quick look-see, hey? This guy. Most people, when they make YouTube videos, I think they figure all this stuff out and then they show you what they built. I like to have no idea what I'm filming and then show you all the ways to screw up. Yeah, that's got some serious board feet and it's really straight. Look how straight that guy is. Yeah, that's 2 great logs and then maybe another small one at the top. Standing back there by the tripod, I could go further that way, but then that puts these other couple nice cedars. Oh, you know what? That's the one that's leaning at the shower. Oh, jeez. That's got some mass too. That's the one. I mean, frankly, both of them are, but that's the one I was worried about. All right, let me pretend to be a normal YouTuber and figure this out, and then I'll get back to you. I know. If I have 10 seconds, I have to listen to my books. This is a great book, by the way. A Brief History of Intelligence. Fan-frickin-tastic. All right, here we go. Dead center. 2 feet low. 2 feet low. How are you supposed to do this? You're supposed to keep like one eye down here to see where you're aiming. Those are in a spot about that big. It's fun, but I honestly don't really know how you're supposed to practice this. Wow, that camera is a little bit too close. Let's just check and make sure you're actually behind the plane of destruction. Oh yeah, you're safe. Don't worry so much. Two to 3 feet low. 6 inches low. Wow. Still way low. Just simply a miss. All right, I don't know how much more of this you can watch since I have no idea what I'm doing. But before we sign off for the day, let's try one more thing. Let's do some powderless single action revolver shooting. Like a cap gun. That was like 8 feet high. Another 8 feet high. 2 feet low. You can see if you actually wanted to get good at this, you'd want to use the same handgun all the time. If you were shooting from the hip and not looking at the barrel, you're just doing it by feel, I gotta think you'd want the grip angle to always be the same. This is pretty vertical. I always thought this was a little weird. It's actually comfortable, but it looks funny. Such an angle there, and then who knows what you call that. You'd expect if I used this one with that angle, if I just drew it, yeah, they'd all be going up into the sky. Listen for a minute. Thought I was hearing a dog barking, but it's an animal I've never heard before. Did you hear it? What is that? Is that a bird? Doesn't sound like any game bird I've heard around here before. Owls out here make some crazy sounds, but that's repetitive. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's pretty good, right? Okay, absolute last thing we're gonna try. Some of these with no powder in them. Out of the Taurus. See how far we can hit that long range plate. I think I made a video a while back. It was Tito and I with our 22 rifles laying on that platform, shooting with these, seeing if we could hit anything from 120 yards. I'll try to find that video. I'll put a link here. I'll put a link in the description too if you want to see that. I think I was able to do it because I have a scope on my 22 and his was like a 100-year-old pump or something. You know, I think the most fun I've had, definitely with those cowboy revolvers and with those powderless 22 rounds, has got to be shooting the Jenga. I've done that a bunch of times. I think it made it onto like maybe 2 or 3. I think it was one of the party videos. Oh, you got one? What the? Look at, there's like
I think it's
shredded pieces of wood in there, but the fact that there's only one there is nuts. There's also a video of building that Jenga. Setting it up for the first time and figuring out, you know, what ammo to use to shoot those little blocks out. I'll stick a link to those videos in there too, just in case you want to see it. That is great fun. If you have any 22 handgun at all, you should build yourself a Jenga. You could just get like store-bought boards. Basically any kind of saw, circular saw or anything, rip them up into the right size. Plink them out with these little guys. That's a hoot. You can almost do it in your backyard too, since these things can't go more than about 33 feet. Which is 2 atmospheres if you're a scuba diver, just so you know. I don't know what we're at here. I can't remember. 70 yards? 80 yards or something? The only thing that's not fun about these out of a gun like this is they have no power, so it doesn't cycle anything for you. I have no idea where to aim. We'll just keep going a foot higher each time. No idea. Oh, wow. Yeah, it was like 5-6 feet high. All right, well, hope to see you guys next week. I know these shooting videos and gun type videos are really polarizing, and I can appreciate that. Like, for the amount of time that I generally spend shooting, I make almost no shooting videos. Some people just love them. Some people won't watch them. That's okay. I'm hoping in the next few days, I'm going to be able to go get Kuiper back from Sarah's house. And I have ordered him a pulling harness. As you probably know, Bernese Mountain Dogs are work dogs, and they're very strong, and they love the winter time. They love the snow. So my goal is to wear him out in the winter time. I'm going to put the pulling harness on him. We're going to have, I don't know, maybe we'll have a small selection, just like you have different weights in my gym here. We might have a different selection of logs. You know, we can start them out with just a little round, pulling it around. I never worked with dogs doing this, so I have no idea what they're capable of. I am fairly sure that he's gonna love doing it though. I hope I can train him with sled dog commands so he can be up ahead of me or behind me and you can tell him this way, this way, this way, stop, whatever you need. But if I have him back and I have the harness here by then, that'll be the next video, seeing if I can train a dorky, loopy, goofy puppy to actually get some work done around here. You know, if he wants food, he's gonna have to work for it. All right, thanks. See you guys next week.